Hello everybody, and welcome back. My name is Derrick Christopher Campos, and this is The Better Way. Last week we talked a little bit about neuro-linguistics. This week we're going to talk about
Neuro-linguistics Programming,
which is kind of like mind control, like this.
Let me see your identification.
You don't need to see his identification.
We don't need to see his identification.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
He can go about his business.
You can go about your business.
Okay, probably not like that, but still, it's really neat. So neurolinguistics, as we learned last week, deals with the relationship between language and the structure and functioning of the brain. Neuro-linguistics programming takes this a step further. It describes the fundamental dynamics between mind and language and how their interplay affects our body and behavior. So not necessarily like mind control or the Jedi mind trick, but you can kind of control an audience with the words you use. So a few years back after learning about this, I thought, cool, mind control like a Jedi? Yes. Shortly after learning this a few years ago, I had the opportunity to teach an adult class. What I was trying to do is to get the class to feel a certain way about the lesson I was going to give. I wanted them to think it was great. So I started off the lesson and I said, hey everybody, I'm glad to be here. I tell you what, I'm excited because I have a really great lesson. First mention. Somewhere in the middle, I was like, hey, this is going great. I appreciate the participation. This is a great lesson. Second mention. When I ended, I said, hey, I want to thank everybody for your participation. This has been a great lesson. Third mention. So just as I thought my experiment was going to work, little did I know, none other than Ryan Smith was in the audience. Who is Ryan Smith? He's the director of marketing for what would eventually become, in a few years, the world champion Houston Astros. Here's a picture of him with the pennant on the way home. I'm very happy to know Ryan, and I'm happy for him because as a result of his work with the Houston Astros, he was able to receive one of those awesome rings as well. So good for you, Ryan. So Ryan was in the audience that day, and he caught on to what I was doing quickly. When I asked, so what do you think about the lesson? He looked at me and he said, well, it was great, Derrick. You told us 3 times. There was no fooling him. When they went home and people asked, hey, how was the lesson? I wanted them to say, it was a great lesson. Now, some people are saying, hey, that's manipulation. You can't manipulate the audience. And to those people, I just have one thing to say. It's not manipulation if it's true. It was a great lesson. So the Better Way challenge is this. In the comments below, list some experiences that you've had with similar techniques and let me know if they were effective or if they weren't. Well, that's all the time we have. This was a great video. I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Derrick Christopher Campos, and remember, there's always a better way.
We will see you next week.